This is Co-op Chronicles, episode 31. Welcome back to Co-op Chronicles. This is episode 31.
31.
I am PintsizedGeisha.
She is.
And I have Blacklabel.
Yes, that's me.
And Azzilee.
Hello.
And today is...
We're going to talk about murder mystery.
Murder mystery.
A murder mystery.
Yes.
Murder mystery. Take two.
True crime murder
They don't
mystery?
even know it's take two. What do you even say take two for?
Oh my... Well, how about I just sit this episode out since I'm saying all the wrong things
I'm just
today?
messing with
for
you.
fuck's sake.
I'm just messing with you.
Is
Calm
now
down.
the proper time to be messing with me.
All right. You ready for Christmas?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Geisha, you ready for Christmas?
Yeah, I'm ready
She
for
doesn't
Christmas.
like Christmas.
I don't like Christmas
Why?
because I just never liked Christmas.
Why? Do you have a story?
No, I just don't like Christmas.
You don't like
No.
the joy
No.
of giving gifts?
I guess that's fine, but I don't like Christmas music. I don't like Christmas movies. I like Christmas spirit when people are nice and kind to each other, but other than that, that's it.
Okay. I'll set the scene for Somerton Man. December 1st, 1948. Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. A well-dressed man is found dead. No ID. No claims to know him. And all clothing labels have been removed. In his pockets, a scrap of paper reading Tamam Shud, meaning it is ending. The area is like a post World War II area. Brought global tension, but also more transient populations are located around that area. Geisha and Azzilee, what would you draw into a mystery like this? More like if somebody was found dead, they found dead with a note, no labels on their clothing. What would you, what would you do if you could set up a scene like this? How would you?
If I was the one committing the murder?
Yeah, if you were committing the murder, yeah.
First you gotta burn off the fingerprints, right? Then you gotta knock all their teeth out so they can't be identified that way. And then probably, I might as well just cut off the hands. Get that out of the way. You'll never find those. Feed them to a pig. They'll eat anything.
What the heck?
Pigs eat anything. So you could just have the pig eat them. This is if I want the body to be found, all right? If I didn't want it to be found, the pig would be eating the whole thing. Okay?
The pig would be eaten too?
The pig would eat the whole body.
Oh, like
if I wanted the body not found.
What's that movie with Hannibal? Is it Hannibal where the guy feeds them to a pig, the bodies to a pig?
I don't know.
What was it called? Red Dragon or something? Nah, I don't know. Okay.
I was like, was it the show Hannibal?
No, it was the movie. It was one of the movies.
Yeah.
The guy fed the bodies to pigs.
But yeah, if I wanted to stage the murder, cut the hands off, take all the teeth out, maybe throw acid on the face so it's like unrecognizable. That's what I would do.
What about you? I would love to hear your take on this.
If I wanted to commit a murder.
Yeah. How would you stage it?
Yeah, how would you stage it? What would you do?
I think it goes like what Az said. Do I want the body to be found or do I not want the body to be found?
Would you be the type of killer that would want to leave a message, or
No.
would you just like do it like
Yeah.
a serial
you don't want to
killer?
be known?
I don't want to be known. If I wanted to kill someone, it's for good reason. I just chop them into little bits and throw them in the ocean for the sharks to eat.
Oh, it's like a one and done kind of thing. Well, sharks can get caught. And
Yeah,
they might
find body
it
parts
the
in
body.
there. Yeah.
Not if you chop them up into little bits.
That's true.
Yeah, it was a
chum.
movie where they
Mhm,
they
like
pulled
chum.
up a shark and there's a hand inside the shark's belly.
Yeah, you gotta chop it up
but
really
yeah,
fine.
It's like really fine.
Oh, like in cubes.
Yeah, like chum, or you
They'll
put
never
it
know.
through a meat grater and
Oh yeah.
turn them into hamburger.
Then you gotta clean the meat grater though, because now it has human DNA all over
You can
it.
throw that in the ocean too. It'll stink.
Oh my god.
The ocean is
The-
the world's trash can.
Yeah.
It is. They're never gonna find it. You gotta go far enough in and know, like, what? Go to the Mariana Trench and throw it in the Cthulhu poop.
The Mariana Trench,
Mm-hmm.
where
Is it
Atlantis is at.
Nope, Atlantis is off the coast of
Is
Italy.
it the Mariana Trench where the Titanic sits?
No.
Or like right on the cusp of it?
Titanic is in the Atlantic Ocean. The Mariana Trench is...
Or it's as deep as the Mariana Trench, right?
Yeah.
How deep is the Mariana Trench?
It's
You
the
guys know?
deepest part of the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna give a number because it'll be wrong.
Yeah.
It'll be embarrassing.
Oh,
I don't know
really?
either.
Is
It's
that,
pretty deep.
It is pretty deep. It's the deepest so far, but they can't even go they can't even go past a certain limit in the ocean because the pressure is too bad. If you throw a body down there, they're never gonna find it.
yeah, but doesn't body float? The gas.
You know what the
Sometimes.
mafia would do?
Tie you to bricks,
Tie you
cinder
to
brick.
bricks.
Yeah, but that's not good. You have to like cement your feet in the cinder
If you
blocks.
go deep enough, deep enough, your body just bloops.
Yeah.
So the Mariana Trench is located in the Pacific Ocean,
Yeah.
about measures 1580 miles in length and 43 miles in width.
Jeez.
Known depth is, that's a lot, 10,984 plus or minus 25 meters.
Jeez, that's a lot.
It's
Oh.
pretty deep.
Yeah. Okay, I got another question for you. So I explained that he was well dressed.
He was in a suit.
He
I
was in-
remember
yeah.
hearing about this.
Yeah, his clothes didn't have any tags or labels; they were all removed, and he had the notes reading Tamam Shud, meaning it's finished or it's ended. Just listening to that part, what part of this mystery grabs you more, the cryptic note from an ancient poetry book, or the fact that this man seems to have no identity at all?
No identity.
Say the mystery.
The
'Cause
mystery?
It's like a message to somebody. It's over. They killed him.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's what it could be.
Yeah. So the basic facts of this is that the body was discovered by people passing by. They thought he was sleeping on the beach because he wore a suit and nice shoes. No sign of injury, no struggle. Since the clothes with no labels, people often hint that someone didn't want him to be identified because that's not normal. Nobody does that unless it's like a spy or a hit or something. Cops checked the missing persons files, ran his photo in newspapers, but nobody claimed him. If you were a detective on the scene, what would you start by checking? Local hotels, local transport stations, or would you focus right away on the strange note? Because you have to think, again, this is 1948.
Yeah, no Google.
In December, yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe, like, ask around, I guess. See if he was, like, at a shop nearby or something.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody, like, said, hey, I know him. Because the newspaper was basically the internet back then, you know?
Yeah. Maybe he was from a different area, so no one would know him in that newspaper. Unless it went, like, global,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because this was in, you said Australia?
Australia, yeah.
Oh,
Because
could be
Australia's
from-
small, though, too. You would think
Australia's
that...
pretty big, actually.
Very big.
Is it big?
Yeah.
It's huge.
How big is it?
Probably the size of the U.S.
It's pretty
Australia?
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I didn't know that. I thought
Australia's really big.
It's huge.
because I know Alaska's huge. I thought Australia was like
I think
small.
Australia is as big as maybe a lot. Let's Google it. How big?
It's 2.9 million square miles compared to the land area of the U.S. at 3.7 million square
Oh,
miles.
so
It's
it is
just-
pretty big.
It's comparable.
big.
This is
Yeah.
a picture.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
With a million things that want to kill you.
Yeah.
I never want to go to Australia. Okay. So the Rubaiyat, obviously what I said, but it's like a page or a poetry thing. So investigators found a copy of the Rubaiyat with the last page torn out. The missing piece matched the paper in the man's pocket. So they found the book.
Oh, where was it?
I'm not sure. I think it was in the back of somebody's car, if I recall. And on the blank page in the book, they found a code, just random letters, but no one cracked it. The background on the Rubaiyat, it was written by Omar Khayyam, lived from 1048 to 1131. This poetry became famous in English-speaking countries in the 1800s. It talks about destiny, love, and the shortness of life. The unsolved code, experts, amateur puzzle solvers, and even military code breakers tried to decode the letters with no luck.
Well, wouldn't they need a cipher?
Yeah, I guess they would probably. You would think that it would be the book, the Rubaiyat.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, do you guys think that you could code this truly a secret, or could you think this code is truly a secret cipher, or maybe just random scribbles we've blown out of proportion?
Hard to say.
Cipher.
I think
Like, this seems like a very well planned hit. So like they would definitely need like a code, right? I would have a code if I had a hit on someone.
Or maybe somebody just killed him and tried to throw the police off with a bunch of squiggles. I would do something like that. Like, yeah, I killed this person. Here's a clue and a bunch of squiggles.
Just to throw them off.
Leave a bunch of open-ended clues.
Yeah. Be like, I planted this and now you don't know where to go.
Have like a poetry book next to it that leads to nothing.
I feel like you'd be an excellent murderer.
I probably would be.
She would take it to her grave.
Yep.
You look like a murderer.
She's like the type that won't tell a soul.
Right now, I'm looking at you. You look like a stone cold killer.
Yeah.
She does.
There's a whole level of crazy underneath here that hasn't been released.
Hasn't been released?
Nope. The voices in my head keep it at bay.
I'd love to take you to a rage room just to see what you would do.
Do we have any of those around here?
Yeah, there's one on Tacoma Ave, I think.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Geisha, I guess for both of you. Using fancy old poetry in a case, does that feel like it adds some highbrow trick to the crime? Or is it just coincidence? Kind of like how you said maybe it's a trick.
Maybe it's a trick.
Could be a trick. Because it could be like you could plan this elaborate kill and then like add clues that will like it'll send them on this wild goose chase, and then at the end it will lead to nothing. So it's like they wasted all this time for nothing.
I cleaned up all the evidence and planted more evidence because I just wanted to watch you go crazy.
Oh my god!
She's watching the TV. Just
Do you think the Zodiac Killer did something like that with all those puzzles, or do you think his
they
actually?
cracked that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I thought they never did.
No, they cracked that code.
Oh.
Cracked it.
Yep. It was two like retired teachers that cracked it. They weren't even in the police.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. But they never found out who did it, though.
No, they did.
They did.
There's some man, right?
Yeah.
Some
old. They didn't find him.
Well, he was dead,
super
right?
Old.
Oh, I thought he was already
I'm
dead.
pretty sure. Let's see.
The Zodiac Killer. Yeah, I remember watching the documentary, the film on it.
I like watching the movie.
That was with Robert Downey Jr., right? I think, or
no. What's his name?
it was with somebody. Oh, Eric Bana. Right,
Eric Bana.
Eric Bana.
Oh, maybe they didn't find him. Which one am I thinking about? Then
the guy that played the Hulk. Maybe the guy.
You know what? I was thinking of the smiley face killer.
Ew,
Oh,
that's
okay.
creepy.
So there was also a person, Jessica Thompson, also called Justin. She might have given this specific Rubaiyat to somebody. She seemed very upset when she showed the police. They showed her plaster of the dead man. So people thought maybe she knew him. She was kind of a suspect. Jessica Thompson she was private about the whole thing, leading some to suspect she knew more than she let on. If this person did have key info but chose to stay quiet, do you understand her reasons, or does it seem very suspicious?
Sus. Why would you keep information?
Mm-hmm.
Unless, like, your life is at risk, right? So someone's threatening you if you say anything, then it's not suspicious, then it's, like,
Or
understandable.
she's protecting somebody.
Yeah.
What if it was like her crazy mom that did it, and she's like, no,
Well, oh yeah, I guess depending on her
or her
relationship with her
child,
mom.
or her like loved one, or her husband, or something, you know?
Well, this leads to like if your kid committed a crime, would you protect them?
I don't know. Depends on the
Yeah,
crime.
I don't know. Depends on the crime. Yeah. So again, the book was she possibly personalized it and gave a copy to another man. So Jessica Thompson's reluctant to speech. Yeah, obviously we thought there was theories that she either was scared or she was hiding something. Let's see. Also, there's other theories about espionage and alternative explanations, such as post-World War II, Cold War's tensions were rising. Australia wasn't the epicenter of espionage like Berlin, but it had strategic interests. So people thought he was like a spy. There's spy techniques involved, microdots, coded messages in the poetry, or removing labels to hide origins.
And
So-
he's wearing a suit.
and he's wearing a suit. So this was another possible, thought that, hey, this guy's probably a spy. He has no ID. Nobody knows who he is. Nothing. No clothing labels. Yeah.
That's even weirder because there's no labels on your clothing. That's like super sus.
The
Yeah.
spy thing sounds more logical to
Yeah,
me.
it's getting closer and closer to that.
Yeah. So, yeah. So is it plausible for a foreign spy that would choose something like the Rubaiyat as a code book, or is this like something too cinematical?
What if it was a message? Like he was a spy, he knew he was going to die, but he made his mission and he had the note in his pocket to let his foundation know, like, I did it, they're dead, but I died too.
Oh.
And if he didn't do it, then there'd be another note in his pocket that said, like, a code, like, I didn't do it, you need to kill him.
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I think using something like that is kind of on par for any kind of murder. It's like symbolic to the killer, you know?
What's that?
Like using that poetry book as like a clue, like a cipher or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like very on par with murders that are suspicious.
Yeah.
Because it kind of gives you like so much to think about. And I think that's what killers want. They want you to just like go crazy thinking about it. What can this mean?
Yeah, like look at them
What does this
run
mean?
around with their heads cut off. Yeah. Another theory was, could he have been a heartbroken lover committing suicide and leaving a poetic goodbye?
No.
Or, is he just a murder victim?
How did he die? Does he have a bullet hole in his head?
No, they don't. There was no wounds or anything.
Did they do a talk screen? Can they do? Was that a thing in 1940s? Forgive me, I don't know.
I don't know back then.
Like I was thinking, like, why don't they use fingerprints? Run it through their database. But then I was like, 1940s. Is that a thing? I don't know.
They had to, like, look at it one by one.
Oh my god, that would
Back in the
suck.
day, yeah, before they had the system.
That's gross. Yeah, I can see why they didn't do that.
Yeah, so the Rubaiyat themes align with the romantic comedy or tragedy, not comedy, romantic tragedy, and some see it as a private love message gone wrong. Do you guys think that the idea of a lover's code intrigued you more than the spy craft, or is it not as intriguing as the spy?
No, that's a good one. Cause like, what if he was with that lady? What if he was getting with her, and then someone found out and they didn't like that, so they offed him, and then they left a message for her, and that's why she was shaken up. That'd be so sus.
Yeah. What about you?
I think it was a spy.
You think it was a spy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also they did do an autopsy on him, so they couldn't pinpoint the exact cause of death. There was no obvious injuries. The body showed no signs of trauma. There was some suspicions of poison because some of the internal findings, such as congestion in certain organs, they hinted as there was a possible untraceable poison to his death. The coroner could not
Cyanide.
they could not confirm it was poison, but it couldn't be ruled out as well.
Isn't cyanide untraceable?
I have no idea. I know they used that a lot back then, right?
Yeah. Let's Google it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to know.
I'm scared. now. Like, I'm honestly scared.
Well, if you turn up dead, I'll ask them. Can you do talk to me for a cyanide?
I have a
Cyanide.
possible suspect.
Cyanide.
I heard Santa was going around giving cyanide to people. Can you check?
Is cyanide poisoning? Poisoning. Untraceable. Let's see. Cyanide poisoning is a result of blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Symptoms include, yeah. Let's see.
Okay, I'll continue while you're researching. So, social context in the late 1940s, people moved for work, left war-torn homelands, and sometimes had reasons to hide their identity, so that's a possibility. Could he be a refugee, a fugitive, or someone fleeing a secret past? Would you consider a similar explanation or a simpler explanation that he was just someone trying to start over and got caught up in something grim?
It's not untraceable.
It's still okay.
What poisoning is?
What would okay, if he was a refugee, why is he dressed so nice?
Yeah, that's true.
Who would want to murder him?
Yeah. I mean, what if he did just get mixed up in something grim, something scary that it was over his head?
I mean, that's true. He probably
Why
could.
are you laughing over there?
Because the police are going to show up at our house. Like, why are you Googling what poisoning is untraceable in the human body?
Your FBI agent's just don't worry, guys. She does this on the regular.
Yeah, she's You didn't listen to their podcast last week?
She was just looking at her podcast stuff. She was researching for her podcast.
What do you think, honey?
I was Googling if cyanide was untraceable. I didn't hear the question.
So it was. Would you consider a simpler explanation that he was just someone trying to start over, or do you think he was caught up in something grim?
Yep.
Are you clipping your fingernails?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I got stuff I gotta do.
Yeah, I see that. So modern investigations, forensics, and DNA. There was some recent. What do they call it? Where they dig up the body?
Exhume.
Yeah, where they exhumed it.
Exhumation.
Yeah, they exhumed it, and DNA testing hinted at identifying him as Carl Charles Webb.
Webb.
And that was like recently, I believe. So, what is it? BuzzFeed?
BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Yeah, they covered this, and I guess 2 years after it, they the guy that was like really into it solved it, and that's how he figured it out. Also, I was just recently watching it was like a video, and they talked about the BuzzFeed where the boys were talking about do you know the one about Finn's treasure?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's not worth bringing up then.
Oh, sorry.
It's because they brought it up. This old man back in the day, he hid some treasure that was worth a lot because he used to. I guess he was a historical buff, and he would travel around Egypt and the world and collect treasures and stuff like this. And he hid his treasure, and he made like a poetry. He said it was like hidden under the stars, blah blah blah. And he said everybody go look for it. So this was like a big thing, and it was recently found after like 2 years or a year or so after the BuzzFeed guys like Ryan and Shane, they did the thing, and Ryan did like a really good research. He talked about how it was either in Montana or Wyoming, and on the show they went to Montana, and they were like looking around for it. They didn't find nothing, but he had all these clues and all this stuff and all his ideas of because he did a lot of research on it. Come to find out, it was in Wyoming, and then like I said, like a year or 2 years after that episode, one of the BuzzFeed writers was so obsessed with it, he ended up finding it in Wyoming.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
It's crazy. And then that auctioned off at $1.3 million or something like that.
Keep it?
No, he did keep. He kept the money. He got the money. He auctioned off it and got the $1.3 million.
I would have kept like any cool stuff though. I guess
it was just like gold
money.
And stuff. Like
you could like just showcase it. But again, money. I get it.
Yeah.
That's so funny. He's so obsessed with it. He's like, you know what? Ryan had all the right ideas.
Yeah,
he just had the wrong state.
And I guess the guy was just so obsessed with it. But yeah.
That's hilarious.
But you know how DNA is going on with like the ancestral, the thing that you did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they keep your DNA.
Yeah.
and they use it for like solving crimes.
Yep.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
called,
What is it?
shit, I forget it already.
Yo, anybody try and kill me? They're about to have my DNA on record.
Well, no, you mainly
use
use
it
it for
for backwards.
yeah, or like the murderers. They find out
They
like
find the
Never mind.
murderers.
yeah, because back then there's DNA and there's no way to use it. But then if somebody from their family would like, well, what am I or where I come from, they'd be like, oh, we got a hit on this DNA.
Well,
yeah.
I'll be smarter if
They'll
I kill
find
somebody.
like their children or their grandchildren.
Yeah, or like a relative,
Oh.
and they're like, I solved it. This is who it is. So that's how they cracked a lot of cold cases, by using that system.
Besides Dakota, the closest hit I've had was a cousin like 3 times removed with 2%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing exciting.
So if this isn't confirmed who he is, but this is who they think he is, the Charles Webb guy, because that's how they used to crack him. They used the genealogy and basically found him through a relative. If this holds true, does this mystery, is it gone? Or does it raise more questions why he ended up on the Somerton beach with a cryptic clue? I mean, obviously...
What would it end? There's still questions. What was the meaning of the note?
Mm-hmm.
Where did it come from? What's the book about? Who did it?
What do you think, honey?
Yeah, I agree.
On
Also,
what?
How did he die?
Well, I said that it's gonna just raise more questions. The whole mystery is not solved.
Yeah, just because we know who he is doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
I
Why
need
was
to
he
know
lying on a
why.
beach?
Yeah, I
Who
need
killed
to know.
him? Where's all your tags?
Was he originally from
Are you a
Australia?
spy?
Where's he-
They remember because they didn't know who he
Oh,
was.
that's right.
Yeah.
His name sounds from a white ancestry. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. A lot of
German.
forums, Reddit, and YouTube documentaries kept the debate alive, such as the BuzzFeed and all these other amateurs questioning every detail. Honey, do you think that online communities can help solve cases like this, or do you think they multiply different theories and kind of make it harder to solve?
I think both. I mean, I watched that documentary, something about killing cats on Netflix, and their whole internet helped find the killers.
What do you mean?
Don't
that?
fuck with cats.
Yeah, don't fuck with cats. That's right. And the
Yeah.
guy,
And they found the guy.
they found the guy. He was like twisted, wasn't he?
Yeah, he put kittens in plastic bags and vacuumed out all the air.
Yeah, he would kill them. And
What a
then,
monster.
and then a lot of people on the internet were.
And then he would post a
enraged.
video, yeah, and then this group of people started like investigating their own, and he was in like the Netherlands.
Oh, is that where he was? I knew
I
he
think
was an
so.
American.
What
Yeah, I think
a
he was in like
monster.
the Netherlands or something, and they caught him.
Yeah, it's called Don't Fuck with Cats.
It's on Netflix. You should watch it.
It's really good.
interesting.
Yeah.
I refuse to buy Netflix because it's so expensive.
It's for $6.99. Well, I got it for free with T-Mobile, but before that, I only paid for the $10 one.
Oh yeah, I
We
guess I can
cheap
get
in
the
this
ad
house.
one.
Yeah, $10 one screen. That's it.
Well,
That's all you get.
I had it, and I swear, like every 6 months, it was like we're bumping the price by $2, and I'm like, oh, I don't have that
Yeah.
kind of money.
I have it free through T-Mobile though.
For how long?
Forever.
Do you really?
Yeah.
What?
Till I have and I have Apple Video, Apple Movies too, but I just never registered.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. So some of the cultural media impacts that this has had was the newspapers in 1948 tried to identify him, and over time, documentaries, true crime shows, and podcasts have all reintroduced this case to new generations. Do you think this would help, I guess, to my previous question, help solve it with more outlets of information?
Oh yeah.
I don't. I think it happened too long ago that everybody who would know something about it is dead.
Oh, that's a good point. Honestly,
Like it died. All the answers, or if the old lady down the street saw something and didn't say anything back in the day, she's gone now.
That happens with a lot of cold cases, right? Like all the witnesses end up passing away, so
Yeah, so they
their
can't
statement is basically useless.
Man, serial killers had it good back in the day.
They did. It seems like you can get away with anything back in the
Bank
day.
robbers too.
Oh,
let me
yeah.
go back
Oh,
in
like
the
the
day and rob a
Westerns?
damn bank.
They like knew who they were, and they still didn't know who did it. They're like, Cletus, what you doing? I'm out here robbing a bank. I don't even know who robbed the bank.
It's like I know that horse.
It's crazy. I recognize that man and his hair.
Yeah, nowadays, yeah, I guess cold cases are still cold cases for a reason. There's just like no leads you can get from it.
It's sad that a lot of those cold cases weren't solved because it seems like they weren't even executed well. It was just there was no technology back then or good cops taking the right procedures of solving it back then, you know?
Well, I mean, you can't really anticipate anyone being a monster and doing crimes like this.
That's true.
So, like, everything we have nowadays is just based off of history.
Past criminals.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Unsolved cases like this, they become kind of touchstones. They inspire novels, documentaries, and continuous speculations. Now, what aspect hooks you the most when it comes to a crime? Not just for this case with the secret code, the identified man, poetic clues, and lingering possibilities that we won't know. I mean, you can answer those two as well, but what hooks you the most in general in aspects of murder mysteries? I mean, for me, I think all of it's kind of interesting with the secret code. A man with no labels on his clothes. A secret code. I mean, in general, like murder mysteries, I think when you don't know who did it, even though there's so much evidence, I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? What hooks you the most with murder mysteries?
Yeah, why do you watch them, Geisha?
It gives me ideas.
Really?
Just joking.
No, really. What?
Just joking. I don't know what it is about it. It's just interesting that people are crazy. People do really, really crazy things to each other. And I don't know why I keep watching murder mysteries. And then it's also the mystery behind it, right? I wonder who did it. But I don't know. I don't know. Because I'm crazy.
Don't they say that if it eases your mind or if it relaxes you, you're a psychopath?
No, they say that most people who watch like murder mysteries or stuff like that had past trauma in their life, and then while they're watching these murder mysteries, it kind of gives them that same environment, like there's trauma going on, so they're more comfortable in a traumatic situation than they are in a normal calm situation.
Oh, okay, so it's not like
like if a murder mystery, if you watch murder mystery to go to bed and it calms you down and it puts you to sleep, does it make you a psycho? Maybe a little bit, but it's more of like that murder mystery and that tension in the environment and the trauma of it relaxes you because supposedly that's what you grew up in and that's your comfort zone, is that traumatic
gotcha
experience or area or comfort level or something. That's what they kind of say.
Yeah.
That's sad.
What about you? What hooks you the most?
Personally, I don't really like watching like true crime stuff just because like I already know how bad human beings are, so I don't like to see more of it.
Crazy.
Personal opinion. Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, no, I enjoy
I
it.
have high anxiety, so
Yeah,
I don't like to add to it.
I don't know. I enjoy watching it, even though it's sad. I kind of like process it like, maybe what if I was there? Like, how would I solve this? I don't like that guy. He would be my main suspect. I remember there was one I was watching, and it was this new couple just got newlywed or just married,
yeah.
right? He moved into the house with his wife, young couple. The guy's going to work. He comes home, and the wife is, moving all the new furniture, everything around, boxes, unpacking everything.
Oh, I remember this
Yeah,
one.
there's neighbors, two guys, really weird, drinking. Somebody comes to the house. She's found, I believe, drowned in a barrel downstairs, or her body's found in a barrel downstairs. The husband was the main suspect. They ended up realizing it wasn't him. They interviewed the two guys. They didn't have any leads, nothing, right? Come to find out later on, it was one of the guys that was next door, or the two guys sitting out there, and it ruined, he killed her. And this is like long after whatever. the husband ended up having kids, but he wasn't the same. He ended up getting divorced. He couldn't stop thinking about who did it. It was like, how did the cops not know that it's one of these two motherfuckers over here drinking? Like, I don't
because you're innocent till proven guilty,
Yeah,
and
but
they
they
couldn't prove he was guilty.
But all they did was just interview him. They didn't.
That's all you can do until you have proof.
But I think they had certain like evidence to go against him. They just didn't pursue it or something like that. I can't recall. But it was just like, it's like, man, like a lot of those crimes, cold cases were like that, where something happened back then. Like, it would be easy to solve if they had the technology now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely what would happen for all cold cases.
That's true. So, the internet age means thousands of armchair detectives like us. We share theories, examine clues, we watch documentaries, and we, in a sense, become detectives online. Do you think modern sleuths and new DNA techniques will solve crimes in the future? Or, for example, would the Tamam Shud mystery remain an external puzzle or eternal puzzle no matter what science says?
Geisha, would you like to go first?
I think the Tamam Shud one will remain a mystery, like I said, because it was so long ago. All the people who have eyewitnesses and stuff are probably gone. Do I think that social media can solve mysteries? I think it's rare. I think it's like maybe 1%.
I mean, they solved the cat one, right?
Yeah, but that was the only one that I ever saw that was ever solved by online.
Yeah.
I think that online people really have to be like invested in the story
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of stuff where people will like heavily investigate. Like, I watch a lot of TikTok, and like there's a lot of people who are like, oh, somebody should do something about it, and then like 10 videos later they're like, yeah, I found out where they live, this is their address, this is how I found it, and I'm just like, oh, invested. I think, yeah, so just the amount of care that people have is what could help make or break something through the internet.
Yeah. So let's see. I want to talk about how. Yeah. So yeah, in 1948 they tried to identify him. Over time, as I said, the Tamam Shud case stands as a cultural icon in Australia and worldwide as an archetype of elegant and insoluble puzzles. How does the media portray, shape, or I guess mix up our perception of a mystery? Do we romanticize that he's a secret agent, a spy, because all these, I guess, clues, the unknowns, or do you think he's just a tragic figure because the media crafts the narrative?
I don't think he was a spy.
No?
If he was a spy, I think it would be more like low-key, wouldn't it be like out in the open? Because then that would lead to questions of other like spy departments, right? So
yeah.
like, you're like, oh, what if he was part of the CIA? But then now you're like, but what if he was part of other agencies? And then that leads people to look into other agencies that may not want to be looked into.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, honey?
I think he's a damn spy.
She's on the spy roll.
I mean, all his labels were off. Like, nobody claimed him. Nobody came to claim him. He had no identifiers on him. They couldn't figure out who he was for the longest time. He has a note in his pocket that just says it's done. Mm-hmm. I think he's a damn spy.
Okay. So, films, novels, and even music references have all alluded to this case. It taps into a universal fascination with the unknown. If you were to write a story based on this case, would you lean into the romance, the espionage, or create a completely new angle?
Geisha's definitely on the espionage train.
Well, I was thinking about it because maybe I'll go like fantasy and the fairies kill them or something. Lay his bodies out as a warning for all humans not to cross into the fairyland.
Oh, so you think he got into the fairyland?
No, I'm saying if I wrote a book, maybe I would cross over to like the fantasy world.
Gotcha.
I would
Okay.
do the romance line. I'm telling you, he was probably seeing that girl, and then someone didn't like it.
Oh, that one person?
That's true.
Okay.
But why didn't she claim him and be like, I know him, this is what happened? She
'Cause
was just like, I
The
scared.
murderer probably threatened her. And she
But if she
had
was
to.
seeing that other person, why would you go back to that other person?
She
I
didn't
don't
want
know.
to.
Yeah.
That's my thing. She didn't want to, but they're forcing her hand.
Yeah. So the Rubaiyat message is about impermanence. The mystery might be a stark reminder that some stories remain untold, and not every life's narrative is neat. Does the oh my, why can't,
Psychologically.
no, philosophical.
Philosophical.
Oh my god, I cannot talk. Angle enhance the intrigue. Does this case say something deeper about identity, destiny, and how easily is a person capable of just vanishing from the face of the earth with no record?
Back in that day, it was easy to vanish, though.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like
Nowadays, you
I don't
can't-
need
you
a social.
can't
I can make
vanish.
my own social. This is who I am. Yeah, I feel like that's how it was back then.
Yeah, back in the day, you could go to like a grave, steal their first last name, and be like, I forgot my social security number. I lost it. And they'll give you that
They
one.
probably would, especially with bribes or something. It was probably very
No, you
corrupt.
didn't even need to bribe them back then. It was part of a movie.
I know, but I'm saying just back in the day too, though, it was probably a lot of police departments were probably corrupt or something like
I feel
that.
like you just hate the police because you don't. You said earlier like the police didn't do their job or something.
No, I was saying this could have been possibilities.
Mm.
Yeah. Plus, the police are never there when I see somebody run a red light, but they're always around me when I'm driving.
Yeah, why do you want to pull me over for having expired tabs when that person is driving recklessly?
Yeah, that person's cutting
That's all I
people
gotta
off,
say.
crossing 3 lanes. Why aren't you pulling them over?
Yeah.
That's
Again,
why.
my expired tabs is an easy catch, I guess.
Yeah.
You don't want to chase after someone.
Yeah, ridiculous. So, searching for the truth, we poke into personal histories. If he was just a private individual who died tragically, are we exploiting his death for entertainment? What would your take be on morality of digging so deep into an anonymous man's past? Is it honor or intrusion?
I think it's curiosity. I think it's less so for the person that was killed, but more so for our knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're already dead. Sorry, and the person that killed them, they got away with it. So at this point, we're just like, we want to know now.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
So let's say each one of you had the, obviously you've both been saying your thoughts on it since we've been talking, but what's your preferred explanation? Spy, lover, or random victim?
We already answered this.
Yeah, she said spy. I said random.
No, I said if you could write it or whatever,
No,
what
you also
intrigued
asked
you
us,
more?
You also asked us what we thought it was.
Well, I would do random.
Random?
Yeah.
It's a spy. He's
Which
a spy.
which theory do you buy the most though?
The lover.
The lover.
That's the romance. That's what I'm sticking to. I think it was like a jilted ex or just like a creepy stalker. Maybe he saw her talk to him and he was just like, "Ooh, you gotta be gone." And then he left that note for her.
Gotcha. What about you?
I think it's a spy. Logically, it makes sense to me.
Okay.
It's more
does.
based off of like the evidence than like. Well, I guess she had the book. I don't know, but I think it's a spy.
Okay.
I think he might have told her like, look, like maybe they got into a relationship, but he knew he was on like a suicide mission. He's like, look, I'm not gonna be here long. And then he's like, I'll send you a message when like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Okay.
didn't even think about
Or
something
what
like
if the message in his pocket was like the girl, something with the girl, like the girl was kidnapped or something, and he had to go save her, and then
Yeah.
he knew it was a suicide mission. He lied down on the beach, put the note in his pocket, and it hit the newspapers, right? Like body found with note that says it's done in his pocket, and his spy company was like, oh look, he did it, and the woman is like, I know everything because he saved me or something. I don't know.
So let's get into the person who they believe he is. Carl Charles Webb. The person that found who he was using that DNA was Derek Abbott. He was from the University of Adelaide, and another person, Colleen Fitzpatrick, was an American genealogist. The Somerton man was likely to be Charles Webb, born in 1905. Here's what we currently know and what's suggested about Webb's background. I do believe at one point they said he was a sad, lonely poet, but there's no personal, there's no way they know who he is. But again, this is just what people thought. They thought he was basically born in Australia, Melbourne. Specific details about his childhood are unknown, such as schools and early jobs. Researchers believe he came from a local family in Melbourne area, although his broader family history is still somewhat piece metal. Webb was actually an electrical engineer. That was I believe it was close by to where his body was found. Little is known about his professional record, but this detail comes from genealogical documents and possibly old family information. He was married, but later separated from his wife, believed to happen in the mid-1940s. There's no known children from him, from any marriages or any relationships. Following the separation, there's a gap in his documented activities. About where he lived, where he traveled, or how he supported himself remains unclear. Separation and disappearances. After splitting from his wife, records of Webb seem to vanish. This timeline fits the period shortly before Somerton Man was found in 1948. Some speculations say he might have left Melbourne for personal or financial reasons, or possibly start over somewhere else. Because it's a cold case from 1948, official paperwork, friends, testimonials, and other direct evidence tying Webb's story, they're all gone. They're scared. Probably all the witnesses are dead. People that knew him are probably gone. So, yeah, they matched the guy. I forgot who they matched him with. But even if Webb is his correct identity, the question remains: why is he on a beach? Was he there by choice? Why is he got a note, no labels on his clothes? Was it a personal decision?
I'm not going to give them credit.
Exactly.
Maybe he made his own clothes. What? Or someone made them for him.
Yeah.
So there wouldn't be a tag.
Yeah. The notion is that he might have been a sad, lonely poet. That it comes from a mystery link from the Rubaiyat, a famous collection of Persian poetry, since the last words found in his pocket were Tamam Shud, come from a book that people long speculated. Obviously he could have been a poet, because why would he have this book? It's romantic. But again, there's no clear evidence saying that. When you first heard that, all this skepticism about this person, about who he is, does it make you more settled, oh, okay, we know who he is? Or does it still linger, why is he dead, basically?
It lingers.
Yeah, I don't know who he is. Why did he get killed?
Do you accept it, or is it there's still some skepticism around it?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to know. See, this is the curiosity part. I need to know why he was killed. Why did they leave him on the beach? Who killed? What? Yeah, just why?
Foul play, espionage.
Yeah.
Lovers quarrel, something like that.
Why this person?
Yeah.
And why is he so mysterious?
Yeah. So, considering he was an electrical engineer, separated from his wife, and seemed to have vanished from public records, which part of his life story intrigues you? His career, his personal relationships, the way he led up to it, or how he just disappeared from the grid, or why he chose to live that life?
Why he disappeared?
Why?
Where'd he go?
Yeah, was it his choice?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great question.
Where'd you go, homie?
Yeah, after you divorced your wife, what was so
happened?
bad that you wanted to?
He was probably sad. I recall some moments like that. Being sad after a relationship. You just tunnel down a dark path.
Oh.
Yeah, and you record numbers on Geisha.
Yep.
So, does identifying him as Webb affect the romantic spy mystery?
No.
Considering that they believe he is local and an electrical engineer, you don't think that messes up the mystery of it? No, you still believe he's a spy? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, a spy could be implanted, right? He could be like
Insert.
undercover, yeah.
Insert? Insert? What's it called?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah, he could have been planted, but I don't think so. I think if he was like native to the land, then it's just like a odd thing that he just ends up odd thing that he ends up dead in such a mysterious way.
Yeah. So, is it fair to keep digging into his personal history, or
he doesn't have much personal history?
Yeah, considering that it's out there. Where do you think, though, the line between solving a mystery and respecting somebody's life? Where do you draw the line at that?
When a family tells you to stop,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have anybody.
He doesn't have any family.
So, I mean, at that point, it's kind of just like public knowledge, I guess.
Everybody's just trying to find out what happened to him.
Yeah, and since no one's come to the police and was like, hey, you guys need to stop digging into this, I kind of think it's just open game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sorry, not to be insensitive, but no one said stop.
Mm-hmm. So,
but at the same moment, they're just trying to figure out what happened to him. They're still trying to figure out how he died, which could be a good thing.
Yeah,
it's
maybe
true.
his ghost is like lingering until someone figures it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think's the next step, since they might have found out a relative and found out who he is through DNA? Do you think they should go interview some of the distant relatives about him and who he is?
I don't think that they would know.
Yeah, I think it's been too long.
Considering he just disappeared from the grid.
Yeah, and especially because if he disappeared and he has like no living children, then his relatives would be from like other family members who have since had children
Removed.
who would have no idea who he is. So I feel like this is one of those cases where it's like really a cold case where you're never gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Do you think, with our obsession with mysteries, do you think that this case, or just in general most cases, do you think that we care about the answer more for our own need and closure, or do you think it's just what happened is interesting?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Because like I'll go crazy. Like I need to know the answer, right? Which is a selfishness in me. But then at the same time, it's like maybe the world wants to know what happens. You know? I don't know.
With like the person, who that person was.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I think it's the same as Geisha. Personally, I just want to know because I want to know if I'm right or if I'm wrong. But also, back to my whole ghost thing, like maybe it could put his soul at rest, you know?
Yeah. Well, this kind of goes against that stuff with another question. So with, the or how do you pronounce it?
Genealogy.
Thank you. With that potentially identifying him as Carl Webb, do you think we'll see more impossible cold cases cracked this way? I mean, we both, or I references a few of them, or do you think they'll stay a mystery and they're meant to stay a mystery?
No,
I feel like all mysteries.
Have.
I feel like some are mysteries still.
But I feel like they're meant to be cracked, though. Like, obviously, if it's like somebody died, you want to know what happened. You want to give closure.
Yeah. I mean, if it's happened, like, more recently, anything, like, back in the day, I feel like is going to remain cold. Mm-hmm. But anything newer, I think, can be solved if it's just, like, if they can get to the case in time to find leads.
Yeah. So, from a moral standpoint, if we eventually confirm his identity 100% and solve the puzzle, how do we respectfully acknowledge his life without turning his tragedy into a mere entertainment?
I don't know.
Just informing us, I think. I mean, nothing's well, I guess it's really hard to do. Because if you figure it out, then you want to, like, tell people, right?
And most people want to make a film about it or something.
Yeah, you'd probably be on some kind of TV show. But that's because it's just so old. Mm-hmm. Like, it's such an old cold case where it's like, this was a mystery for a long time, for decades. Mm-hmm. And we finally solved it. And I don't think it's in, like, trying to be rude or make it a spectacle. I honestly just think it's like, hey, this is how it was solved. This is who he was. And it's kind of just informing us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we ever make a spectacle out of anything.
What about you, Geisha?
No, I agree.
So the Tamam Shud, I explained what it meant. It was like the end or a new I don't know if it's like new beginning or it's like a goodbye, basically. So how do you interpret the phrase Tamam Shud in the context of this story? Do you believe it's a poetic goodbye, a cryptic code, or maybe just a coincidence that a man took his own life?
It's not a coincidence.
Actually, when you said that, it kind of... What if he did take his own life?
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, like, yeah, he could have taken his own life, but that piece of paper being in his pocket was
Makes
not
it
a
more.
coincidence.
Yeah.
Maybe it was him saying goodbye to that girl.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's all I got for this mystery. I mean, I don't have anything else. I mean,
I wish it could be solved. Like, what if we did this talk and then, like, in a couple years it's solved?
Yeah. I mean, it might be. Look at the BuzzFeed.
It just seems... I just feel like that one is, like, not... Like, there's not enough information to, like, solve it.
Yeah,
especially
just because you know who he is doesn't mean you know what happened.
Especially if he was killed by, like, spies or, like, a spy interaction. Because then you're never figuring it out.
Did clothing back then in 1940 have labels? I would assume so, right?
Well, it was probably hand-stitched in. If it was made by hand. Because they
Yeah.
probably didn't have... Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting case. I don't know if it'll ever get solved of how he died or why he died.
Probably not. Again,
I don't
he
think
has
so
like
either.
no living children.
And he has nothing's recorded.
Yeah,
He's just
he didn't have
disappeared.
anyone who like genuinely cared about him at the time of his death, unfortunately. So it's just like no one cared enough to even know that he was gone. He was just found.
Yeah, my personal thought on this is that he took his own life. That it probably got to him and he just died somehow, but maybe overdosed on something or took some sort of pill and just killed himself. I mean, they said there might have been some poison in his system, but they don't know.
Well, it could have been a poison, but when you do a tox screen, you don't test for all poisons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some poisons aren't like ran normally, so you have to like specifically look for those poisons. So it could have been like a poison that just isn't normal, so they didn't look for it.
Yeah, it's just very...
Like, there's like... I watched it on Psych. Don't quote me. I don't know if this is true, but foxglove is poisonous, but that's like not a drug that they look for normally, so they didn't know it was foxglove.
What are you talking about? Foxglove? Is that a thing? What
It's
is
like a
that?
plant,
flower.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's a flower.
I didn't know that.
It's like poisonous to animals.
Well, that's good to know. It's like the what's that? The Zootopia with the
Oh yeah, what was that? The nightshade.
the nightshade. It made him crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got for this episode. I mean,
That was a good one. I like this one.
yeah, it's very interesting.
I still think it was a jilted or crazy psycho stalker.
And Geisha believes it's a spy.
Yep.
It makes sense if it's a spy.
Yeah, man, I just think it's just a lonely man. He was sad.
He probably was
Tired
so
on life.
sad. He was so
Yeah.
lonely, probably.
Yeah. Because why would you just be on a beach chilling? I don't know. I can go into it, but I don't want to. So that's
he
it.
was placed there, or he knew he was gonna die, so he was just like, whatever. I'm going anyways.
He's like, I'm
My
gonna watch the
mission is
sunset.
done.
I want to watch the sunset
My
before I
mission
die.
is done.
Yeah. Alrighty.
He
Poor
probably has
Carl.
one of those fake teeth that if you bite on it hard enough, you die.
Oh, the cyanide.
Oh, the cyanide.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's traceable. Though.
Police
We
are going to
don't
be
know.
looking into
It's
us.
traceable now.
'Cause you Googled it.
Probably. But my FBI agent knows me, so
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
FBI
He knows
just like
to-
he's like,
to-
false alarm, guys. She
It's
does this
nothing.
often.
Geisha is, we know who she is.
yeah, she's fine. It's not a red flag.
Yeah.
It's her normal everyday
What?
type of thing.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
She's
go ahead, please
constantly
end
looking.
this.
This has been Co-op Chronicles. Thank you for listening. As always, this is Azzilee with PintsizedGeisha and Black Label.
Bye. Sorry, I didn't mean to say bye.
You cut me off. It's my job to
Say bye one more time, real quick.
Bye.
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 We gather round the mic, tales of knights and dice, gaming worlds collide,
Yep.
hobbies come alive.
Do you like to use like specific packs, or do you just play it?
Azzilee and Geisha
I know I money on my Sims. I have a lot of packs.
Black labels where it's at. Movies and stories told, secrets to unfold. Co-op Chronicles, come and join the ride in a world where fun resides. Co-op Chronicles, hear the stories, feel the vibes. Lo-fi beats, they flow as we share what we know. D&D and game and talk, every journey we embark. Laughs and fun, now that's the plan. In our little podcast clan, women leading through the air. Join us if you dare. Co-op Chronicles, come and join the ride in a world where fun resides. Co-op Chronicles, hear the stories, feel the vibe.